Hello everyone and welcome back to IPL Trivia Fever with your host Priyadarshan. I'm here to do the pre-match review for today's second game, that is the Kolkata Knight Riders taking on the Rajasthan Royals. Now, the Kolkata Knight Riders and the Rajasthan Royals are sitting at 12 points but all below the top 4. So both the teams need these points very desperately to make it to the top 4 and to make it to the playoffs. Now, obviously, the decision of the first game, that is Punjab versus Chennai, also matters to these teams a lot. So all of these teams must be rooting for Chennai to win the match. But obviously, momentum is a bit more the way of Punjab. So let's see what happens in the result of the first match, but that will not change the intensity that this match is going to produce. So we're going to get to the statistics and the lineup of the teams. But before that, it's time for some questions. So here comes two questions for the players of the Rajasthan Royals. The now famous nickname Killer Dash came after an unbelievable innings of 101 not out of 38 deliveries for Kings 11 Punjab against Royal Challengers Bangalore in IPL 2013. He took Punjab to a final over win with a seemingly impossible situation. So, who is this player who used to play for Punjab before but now is a part of the RR squad? So now, since I've said this, and I think many of you might know the nickname Killer Miller. So the player that I'm talking about is David Miller. Unfortunately, he got only one match to play in this year's IPL, but he is such a destructive batsman. But again, they say that you may have the best of the players, but they need to fit into your squad. So obviously, because of the certain situations, he may not have got a lot of matches. But having someone like that in your arsenal will always be a positive sign. So that was the answer for the first question. Moving on to our second question. So here it goes. He belongs to a village which is home to about 40 families, and the local people are mostly engaged in farming. The remote Rupur village in Ramnagar district near Nainital in Uttar Pradesh is his hometown, and his family has 26 bigha agricultural land where they cultivate rice, wheat and sugarcane. He was made as the captain of the India under-19 team in 2018, which toured Sri Lanka. The team also featured Sachin Tendulkar's son Arjun. So name this cricketer who has defied all odds and made it big in the world of cricket. So the player that we are talking about, well, he hasn't got much of a chance with RR, but obviously the fact that he was given the captaincy of India under-19 team, that means he is a player who has some mettle and who can prove his worth. So the player that we are talking about is Anuj Rawat. So that sums up our two questions for the players of the Rajasthan Royals. Now it's time to move on to the Kolkata Knight Riders. So here we go. He was the leading run scorer for Uttar Pradesh in the group stage of the 2018-19 Ranji Trophy with 803 runs in 9 matches. He finished the tournament with 953 runs in 10 matches, named this prolific run scorer for Uttar Pradesh. Now this player got only one opportunity to play for KKR, and that was in the last match. Well, he couldn't do much, but at least he was striking at a strike rate of 100. So the player that we are talking about is Rinku Singh. So Rinku Singh, who's been a part of the KKR squad for quite a while, yes, he has paid his dues, so he will get a good opportunity, and there is no doubt in that. So that moves us to our last question. So here we go. He received a 90-day suspension for bowling with an illegal action commencing 8 January 2020 to July 2020. He was named as the captain of the Guyana Amazon Warriors for the 2020 Caribbean Premier League. So name this South Africa-born Australian cricketer. So he has also played one game for KKR. He is also an all-rounder, and he's pretty handy with the bat as well. The player that we are talking about is Chris Green. So now that we are ended up with our questions, well, as I said in the start of the video, both the teams are sitting exactly tight at 12 points each. Both want those 2 points to move to get to 14 and probably make it to the playoffs. Well, Rajasthan has had a slight downfall towards the end of the tournament, whereas for KKR it's always been a little different type of graph where they've won a match, then lost, then won, then lost. So it's been a seesaw ride for them rather. But I feel that now KKR has finally found their playing 11, and that's really going to help them out. In case of KKR, well, in case of Rajasthan Royals, well, they have the power, they have the players, and in previous match, so both the teams are really looking really tough, and they are going to go raring and get those 2 points. So it's going to be a close match, and the players who I think we need to watch out for, I feel this match Neil Narain is going to play a good hand with the bat, and obviously Shubman Gill, I hope that he gets another half century. Whereas when we talk about the Rajasthan, Ben Stokes has been the player